What a beautiful fall day. Hey everyone, this is Tim and I hope you're doing well and I hope you're enjoying the fall weather with the beautiful autumn colors. And I got a chance to explore nature in autumn with all its glory, the natural beauty of the ocean and the mountains. But more importantly, I got to experience the great festivities that comes along with it. But even more importantly is that I got to experience the food that comes along with it as well. And this is my local area in Vancouver where I got to attend an event with social media sensation Chef Grace as a guest, and I got to see what they call influencers in the wild. But while they were taking pictures, I was able to sneak a peek in the kitchen with all the hardworking bakers and cooks and chefs there plating up gourmet meals, dish after dish of gourmet courses, all celebrating the foods of autumn. And while I'm enjoying the amazing food, it's nice to see if a professional chef, Chef Grace, would approve.
Also.
And that sounds like a yes to me. So really great activities to do in the fall and great attractions. And as good as the attractions is, it's the food and the company that wins me over. And speaking of great food, I've noticed that Seattle has been, it's becoming the mecca of buffets. From the large, luxurious lobster buffet at the Feast Buffet to the comforting and iconic Golden Corral with all the great people there taking pride in all they do. There is so much to offer, and it gets better because recently I found out there was another buffet in the Seattle area, in the Renton area, called the Mandarin Buffet with all the great Asian American foods. And here in Canada, there is a Mandarin Buffet as well, one of Canada's most iconic Chinese American buffets. But they're out in the East, and here in the West Coast, I'm happy to say that the Mandarin Buffet has just as much Asian American food and of course a lot of seafood and sushis as well. So I can't wait to make a weekend day trip to Seattle as we embark on this little food adventure. So really grateful for that, and also really grateful to Grunes for sponsoring this video. With all the food adventures, there is a lot of amazing luxurious food, from the over-the-top grand Vegas style buffets to the comforting dishes to the amazing street food that is so tasty but might not be the healthiest on a day-to-day basis. But trust me, I don't eat like this every day when at home and not traveling. I make it a point to keep active and eat well, and nutrition is a big part of that balance for me, and that's where Grunes come in. Grunes is a big part of my nutritional health because they're not just another multivitamin, probiotic, or greens, but rather they are all those things rolled up into 8 delicious gummy, specially formulated to provide your comprehensive daily nutrients, and they taste great too. I love that it's easy on the body, and they are specially formulated to be better absorbed than regular pills or powders. And one thing that stood out to me is that Grune pays careful attention in providing a comprehensive set of nutrients for you, and also, more importantly, the bioavailability of that nutrients as well. One thing, for example, is methylated folate. If you're like me, not everyone absorbs regular folate efficiently, especially if you have the gene mutation MTHFR, which apparently 30 to 40% of the people have. And Grune's use of folate in its methylated form ensures the benefits are available to everyone. And that's just one ingredient in the 20 plus vitamin and minerals and 60 plus whole food ingredients found in Grunes. And it's nice to know that with a hectic work schedule and these food adventures and all the activities, that I'm still looking after my body. And if you're curious or want to learn more or want to get to a path of better health, give Grunes a try. And in fact, the folks at Grunes were kind enough to offer a promotion for up to 45% off. Visit the link in the video description. That again is for up to 45% off. Visit the link in the video description. And with that, with proper nutrition, I think it is time for a fantastic buffet together. I love to get to a buffet while it is nice and pristine. And since it's still early in the day, come on, let's go. And we are on our way, a quick day trip to Seattle on the highway, looking at the beautiful fall colors. And after a beautiful scenic drive, we are approaching a strip mall, and what all strip mall needs, a beautiful buffet And we have arrived. Hey again, everyone. This is the Mandarin Buffet and Grill. And after that drive, I can sure use some food and some drinks as well. Come on, let's go inside. I always like to come to a buffet when it is fresh and pristine, and it's about 4 o'clock now, but it is busy with people filling up and the hardworking folks at the grill over there and a little bit of a lineup. And we are up next. Hey Ingrid, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Oh, this looks beautiful, and it's so early, but it's so busy.
Yeah, it is a little busy today because it's Saturday. Yeah.
Can I get a table, please?
Any drinks for you?
Is it unlimited?
Oh yeah, it is.
All right.
We have a Pepsi product, lemonade, Dr. Pepper, orange soda, Sprite.
Oh, Dr. Pepper, please.
Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
okay. There we go.
Thank you, Ingrid.
You're welcome. All right, follow me, please.
All right, thank you. Thank you so
There we
much.
go. Enjoy.
Thank you. Nice to see so many buffets in the greater Seattle area. And oh, thank you so much. And they are certainly fast. A rapid Dr. Pepper to the rescue. Very much needed. Very refreshing. So the buffet is $31 on the weekend, and that's because they have extra food here with the seafood and the crab and the scallops. And I believe the drinks are extra too, another $2.50, and they include the tip, which is 10%. And I can't think of any place offering 10% tips, even as a default. So pretty good deal here. And I think the only way to see how good the food is to really check it out. Come on, let's go for round one. All right, so the buffet is in full swing. Just grab a plate. And I managed to do a little bit of reconnaissance, and they have so many stations here. We are right now at the sushi station with all the hardworking folks at the back, and over there a little further are some appies and a grill station where Gabriel is cooking up a storm, and a bunch of Chinese food and Western food and some dim sum as well. But we will start with some sushi first, with rows and rows of delicious goodness. So the trick is not to overdo it with control and discipline, as hard as it may seem. And we will start off with a nice rainbow roll with stuff in the center and stuff on top, and we'll pair it up. And there is quite a variety here, from the Philadelphia roll to the spicy tuna to something called a St. George roll. And okay, thank you, sir. Oh, beautiful shrimp tempura, nice and fresh. And next to the shrimp tempura roll is a spider roll with the soft-shelled crab right over here. And it is hard to distinguish the two. Okay, the quintessential California roll, dragon roll. And while I was saying we should practice discipline and restraint, it's very hard to say no to a roll with unagi or eel. It is getting dangerously full, but moving on. A bit of salmon, a little bit of vibrant dancing. That's a dancing roll. Shrimp. We will skip the tofu roll. Hey, Hang. Hey, oh, not too bad. Everything looks so good.
Thank you.
And those are the squid. And we are moving on to the sushi with the spicy scallop, some tobiko. And here we have an unagi sushi. Go for one here. And another, oh, and something I shouldn't have, but I just can't resist. Not the mackerel, but this is the white tuna or the white fish. I'm gonna go for a little one here. And you don't want to eat too much of these because there's a bit of a substance here that if you have too much, you end up having to use the restroom, as some have found out the hard way. And moving on, the salmon and tuna. A nice shrimp cone right here. Oh, and it just continues on with the tamago, the squid, the shrimp, and the squid again that Hang was working on, and some red snapper there. But let's see, oh, so as filling as it is, a nice roll in tempura form would hit the spot. And as hard as it was to resist, I think I did a pretty good job. But okay, so now we're talking. Some luscious shrimp, some salmon sashimi, and we'll go for a bit here. All right, topped up with some tuna poke. all around. And that is looking pretty good. And moving on, we have an array of salads from the crab to the greens. And as much as I love the salad, I will skip and maybe just a little bit of crab. Crab number one and crab number two, a substantially longer one. Oh, and look at that roll of sushi there. Oh, Subway would be proud if they made sushi. But moving on, past the dessert station, so you get a glimpse of what's to come and you get a sound of what's to come with Gabriel at the grill. But to our right, we have the hot food station. And as I said before, I did manage to do a bit of reconnaissance here. And it is a mixture of both Asian fare and Western fare with the roast. But since we're just starting off, we'll stick with the appetizers. And what better appetizers than a dim sum station right at the end? All right, so I know all of these except for one because all the placards are in English, except this one. And if you know what that one means, let me know. But I think it stands for something like banana. I know the first word, but let's confirm. Okay. All right, so it is a funny looking banana, and that we will skip. And let's see what is at the back. I believe that is shrimp dumpling. They're kind of small, which is nice because you can have a variety to sample. One shrimp, and let's see. All right, the buns I'm gonna stay away from. Steamed salmon. And I believe this is the collar, and although not really sought after, this is my favorite because it is so gelatinous and silky and tender right here. All right, what is this? So this is a sweet red bean rice. So these are little dumplings wrapped in banana leaf. And okay, so it wouldn't be dim sum without the chicken feet. And let's see how these are. We'll go for two right here. The feet of the chicken and the feet of the crab. Okay, my favorite, all the way at the back, is the wonderful sticky rice. There we go. And finally, okay, a little bit of tripe for the adventurous folks, nice and saucy. And that is looking pretty good. And I should return, but I can't resist because this is a beautiful fried station. And I'm just gonna pick and choose a little bit of a fried wonton next to the steamed shrimp dumpling. And to wrap it up, a wonderful spring roll right here. Oh, and that will do it for the appetizer round. Round one is a little bit more than I anticipated, even though I was practicing restraint. You might have noticed something new on the table, and that is a hot and sour soup. I just couldn't resist with a spring roll, and it looked really good. And on my way back, Gabriel was cooking up all those pot stickers, and he was kind enough to give me two. So with the pot stickers nice and fresh, that would be a perfect place to start. Let's give that a try. Okay, and look at that wonderful crust there, from the butter to the pot sticker sauce and the Tabasco sriracha. I think that is for soy and wasabi and ginger garlic. But we'll definitely use the pot sticker sauce. They and Gabriel certainly do a great job with the pot stickers. A beautiful crust and a juicy, meaty filling with just enough veggies to cut the richness. And we're off to a great start. And to avoid the hot food from getting cold, I'm gonna go for the adventurous tripe next. Oh. So if you haven't had tripe before, be adventurous, give it a try, and when done right, there's just a little bit of a bite to it, but nice and soft and tender. Oh. Very nice, and we'll need to dig in with both hands for the chicken feet, maybe just with a chopstick as well, and a little bit of fingernail, but that's okay. Clipped. Let's give this a try. little bit of bone, or a lot of bone, but dim sum wise, they do it really well here. Aside from the nail, the chicken feet is done right. Nice and gelatinous, very soft, steamed to perfection, and very nice flavor. Just a lot of bone. To switch things up a bit, I'm gonna give the hot and sour soup a try. Let's see how it is. I remember going to a buffet with Danny the Medic and Steve, and they had really good hot sour soup. Let's see if this compares. I remember great hot and sour soup at the Crazy Buffet in Vegas, and this is almost just as good. Crazy Buffet wins it just by a bit, but this is still very good. My favorite thing to do is to take a spring roll, something crunchy, dunked in the hot sour soup. Very good. And even though this is a vegetarian spring roll, having some hot and sour soup makes it better. That is very nice. I gotta switch gears a little bit with the sushi, and I can't resist the unagi, or the eel, and there is so little rice and it's just barely hanging on. Beautiful ratios. It's really nice to see a buffet sushi done very, very well. That unagi sushi, a little bit of rice, perfect ratio, and a perfect balance. And hopefully I can balance this. Maybe not. That is very good. I'm really curious about the deep fried roll. Seems to be nice and crunchy. And instead of the soy, let's do this mayonnaise type sauce. Okay. I am so glad I did not go for the California roll, because here it is right here, but deep fried. And even though it might not look the most vibrant of colors, it is very delicious. And a little bit more sauce. A big two-biter. But let's see how the sticky rice is. Again, one of my favorites, but very filling. And luckily they are small. It's kind of like unwrapping a little present. And that is looking really nice because the rice has taken all the color and the flavor of the lotus leaf. And we'll try to make this a two-biter. Oh. That is unctuous and sticky and tacky, and so much flavor in the best way possible. A really nice aromatic flavor of the lotus leaf and a strong punch of the shiitake mushroom. A little messy, and the 5-second rule is intact. When you're here, as counterintuitive as it is to eat sticky rice, do go for it, because that is absolutely delicious. And to change things up a bit, let's go for the crab, and pretty massive crab indeed. We'll take away the cartilage. And I think this is the, and I believe this is the white meat of the crab. And we'll dunk it in to the melted butter. Very nice crab. Nice and meaty, and always a bit of work. But hopefully it will be worth it. And it looks to be cooked really well. Cartilage just flies off. And a small crack. Oh. And hopefully, if we're lucky, it all comes out in one piece like it does here. All right, so again, cooked perfectly, not too much work. And we're just gonna go a little crazy here. A bit of butter, a bit of Tabasco, or a lot, more butter. Oh. Beautiful crab, lots of sushi. Can't even speak. Lots of sushi. So I'm just gonna finish this up, and for $31, really good deal, and I'll take you back for more. Cheers. So as the evening continues, it gets busier and busier, and round one was a superb start with a bit of hiccup, and that cheesy fried wonton, something just didn't seem right when I picked it up. Upon closer inspection, it looked to be hollow, but upon even closer examination, it was indeed, but still very crunchy and delicious. And while the shrimp dumpling looks a little small, I gotta give it a try with a little bit of the pot sticker sauce. Very delicious, and it certainly packs a punch. And moving on, I definitely had to try the whitefish, and it was dangerously delicious and dangerously good. And that is my quota, and with that, it's time for round two. Come on, let's go. Oh, walking through this long corridor of the buffet is getting more and more difficult, even after one round. And we're gonna head off to that busy hot food section, grab a plate here. And it's kind of nice, again, this is a mixture of Asian and Western food. So this round, I'm just gonna start with the Asian food, and I'll come back for the Western food because with the roast, it might get a little cold. And a very good start with the honey shrimp. A bit here, mass of prawns, and moving along. This is pretty authentic. This is spicy tofu and fish. I think this is on the Szechuan side. Let's try a little bit of this. Right down here. Oh, and I can see that oil glistening. And moving on, this is the, I think, more salmon. Or this is actually papano, and I saw that earlier. And while it looked great, I think I'm just gonna be more strategic with some veggies, some crawfish. Oh, and salt and pepper spare ribs. Okay. One next to the shrimp, and another for company. Move it around. And this is interesting. Chinese wine chicken. Let's give that a try. Right here. Oh, and now we go for the fried stuff. All right, and then some fried Singaporean noodles as a base. Some chow mein, and I can't say no to the fried rice. Very colorful. Filling up on the fillers, as they say. And this is a wonderful roast here, but I'll get that for the next round in case it gets cold. And more Western food, from the sausage, the spare ribs. And this is the quintessential beef and broccoli. Just a little bit of veggies for the rice. Okay, Panda Express will be proud. Some orange chicken and some more veggies. And rounding the corner, oh, we have more soup. So this was a hot and sour soup I got. But this I might go for. This is a winter melon and pork soup. Very, very refreshing. It cleans the palate. Very clean type of soup. I'll definitely go back for that. And this is sweet and sour pork. And nice to get a nice fatty piece of pork right over here. And it is perfect for the rice. And let's see what else we have. Oh, so this is not for everyone, but this is definitely one of my favorite. This is stewed pig trotter, and it is very gelatinous, very tender, and very good. Just a little bit. And there's not too much room left. So how about right there? I'm just glancing around with the wonderful Western foods and the spring rolls, and what is looking really appealing, those beautiful scallops. And let's go for 1 and 2. That's just it for now. But next to the scallops are the apple pie, and next to that are the spinach. So I'm taking a mental note of the apple pie for the dessert. And let's see, nice pork ribs, and maybe We'll go for a deep fried shrimp. All right, and this is getting pretty full. Toasty garlic bread, looking really good. That is not looking so good, only because it's I'm not a big fan of bananas. And finally, these massive shrimp. Just one. Oh, and what's coming up next is a lot of work, but I believe they are really delicious. These are, I think, Maryland blue crab. And I remember David Sriracha having these. Maybe not deep fried, but let's give it a try. Okay, and that will do it for the Asian round. Okay, so a massive round 2 with the Asian fare. And while it looks like it's a lot, it's actually quite manageable because a lot of the seafood is just shell and the pork and the spare ribs are just bone. So while it might look like a lot, it's actually very manageable. And I gotta try the honey shrimp first. While it is nice and hot and crispy, got a whole bunch here. That is done very well. Nice, thin, crispy batter and a succulent shrimp. And a saucy, sweet honey glaze. Not too sweet though, very nice. Gotta try the spicy fish to counteract the slight sweetness of the shrimp. Oh. It's not spicy at all. It's got a wonderful toasted chili flavor, hints of garlic, and that fish is so soft and tender. And actually, I take it back. The spice grows on you. And it is getting hot. Oh, Dr. Pepper to the rescue. And just in time, because I gotta dig into the beautiful baked scallop. And it looks like there are scallops here, mixed with a little bit of crab meat. When you're here, do try to go for the scallops, but delicious, tender bay scallops, very sweet. And the second one, just as good as the first. Time for that Chinese wine chicken. And I'm not sure how this is. This is looking a little dry, but generally with the Chinese steamed chicken, you need a little bit of ginger, garlic, and scallion oil right here. And I think this is just ginger and scallions, no garlic. So get a hold of that. This is a rather traditional chicken. I think it's just boiled or steamed. Not dry, but a bit firm. And this is okay. Not the greatest, but not bad at all. But what is good is the ginger and scallion oil, because you take a little bit of that, mix it with the fried rice, and as simple as that looks, that is a match made in heaven. It is a wonderful combination. The fragrant scallion and ginger oil mixed with the fried rice that soaks up all that fatty goodness. Very good. And now it's time to get a little messy with the salt and pepper blue crab. And I know this is going to be a bit of work. I'll pack it in 2. And we'll need to pick at it. Okay, and lumps of meat here. Let's give this a try. The crab meat is delicious. Lumps of sweet, flavorful, and succulent crab meat, except that there's a lot of cartilage in here, and that is a lot of work. Not sure if it's worth the effort with a larger snow crab. But what is a little bit unique and very tasty, if you're adventurous, is to go for the pork trotter that is stewed and nice and gelatinous and soft. Definitely one of my favorites. It's fatty, it's meaty, it's falling off the bone, and it's got that rich, luscious, gelatiny, sticky, tacky sauce. Very delicious. And mixed with some rice, even more delicious. And it's just sticking to you. So, pretty good here. Asian food, very authentic. Beautiful pork knuckles or pork trotters, silky fish. So just a little bit to finish up. And again, it's not a lot of food because with all the bones and the shells, very manageable. And we'll take it back for the Western round. So with round two, I think I might have misspoke. I said it wasn't a lot of food because of the bones and the shells, but it was a lot. And I'm getting a little bit, I'm getting there. I'm getting pretty full. The sweet and sour pork, it was okay. A little too lean for my liking, but to make up for it, the salt and pepper spare ribs, really nice, crispy outside and tender, fatty inside, just like the chicken wing, crispy outside, soft and juicy interior, and definitely one of my favorites. The chili fish with that numbing chili sensation mixed with the noodles and the rice, a perfect trifecta. And with round two done, let's go for round three. Maybe some Western food, maybe some grill. Let's find out. Oh dear, the walk back to the buffet gets slower and slower. And it was very filling. So I'm just gonna go easy on the Western round. So just a little bit. And let's take a look here. The crawfish, the pizza. Oh, and as good as the fatty beef looks, I'm really starting to get full. And thankfully, they cut it up for you. So let's go for a piece here with a little bit of fat and a lot of meat. And that might be too much, but it looks very juicy. Okay, and what do we have? A bit of sausage and a bit of barbecue ribs, St. Louis style. Oh dear, and this is not only looking heavy, it is pretty heavy, but I think we can add a little bit more weight to it with a beautiful baked cheesy spinach. One of the healthier items right here. All right, and I see some salmon and the cheesy wonton and some more pork ribs. Let's see what else they have. You can tell that is the kiddie section with the chicken nuggets and fries, and I can't resist, maybe just a few fries. Not a lot. And as good as the garlic toast looks, I think this will be it. All right, a substantially smaller round, and this is all the food I can handle. And I got back really quickly. I didn't go to the grill station because I wanted to make sure the meat and the steaks were nice and hot and fresh. Let's cut into it. Okay. And the only thing that's missing is a little bit of sauce. But that's okay because we've got the cheesy spinach all together. Let's give that a try. I noticed they have a lot of HP sauce up in the grill station, so I'll get that for sure. But so far, the meat is pretty good. It's a bit on the dry side, I must say. Not as tender, but still soft enough. And with the spinach or the cheesy spinach, a pretty good combination. I think the Chinese section is a lot better. That's not bad at all. And Very quickly, before it gets too cold, try the barbecue spare ribs. A little bit more sauce. Nice tangy sauce, but still a little bit more dry than I would like it. Not the greatest, but not bad also. So this round is a very quick one, but I do want to try the grill, so I'm going to finish this up to make it a very, very fast round 3, and we'll take you back to the grill. Diet Pepsi this time. Not bad, but not a Diet Coke. The Western round was so-so and fair. It was okay, but hopefully the grill station will be a little bit of redemption. And I actually did manage to get a few of those wonderful crab. I deshelled them, so hopefully we can make a good dish out of that. And let's take a look. So maybe we'll go for a steak and some wonderful fried udon with crab. So the nice thing about a buffet is that you can make it your own. A bit of bean sprouts, a bit of cabbage, and of course the udon, just a bit for a fried seafood udon, and a little more. There we go. Okay, I think the hands are the best tools. All right, and the other side, maybe a bit of onions for some flavor, and shrimp will go great with the crab. Right over here, a touch of garlic, a splash of chili, and let's go see Gabriel. Oh, I forgot the steak. Now we can go see Gabriel. Hey Gabriel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you for coming.
Oh, can I get this grilled up? Maybe. How about medium?
Medium is okay?
Is it okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Salt and pepper.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
And this one, I have some crab in there. Is it okay to make a stir fry?
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Dueling stir fries.
Yeah, thank you. Ready.
Oh, thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Enjoy.
thank you. Oh, and this is looking fantastic. Notice the rounds are getting smaller and smaller because the appetite is getting smaller and smaller. But it's nice to see a nice grill here. And Gabriel was cooking the steak. The steak's pretty thin, so Gabriel was trying to do a medium, and that might be a tall order, but there's only one way to find out. And let's see how Gabriel has done, and I won't blame him if it's well done, because again, it's a very thin steak. So it is looking like it is well done, and to be honest, just a flash on the grill would have cooked it, and well done, and just a blush of pink, but it is well done. But good effort. It's just the thinness of the steak, but I love to try that udon here with the crab. So earlier on, I deshelled a whole bunch of crab and have them cook it up. So the udon with a nice little bit of char. If I can get an udon. Ah, there we go. Oh, finally. Nothing like the wonderful stir-fried udon, nice and toasty, with the crab and the shrimp and a bit of sriracha, or a lot. All together. And a little messy. So again, another rapid round with the udon And finally, I think I'm calling it quits. After this, just a small dessert. And I think I've had my fill. Oh, and too much sriracha. So not the largest dessert station, and because Chinese buffets aren't known for a large dessert station, and thank goodness, because I'm pretty full, but they do have everything you need, including the chocolate fountain. And we'll start off on this end with a panna cotta, but skipping the creme brulee and the leche flan, and usually I'll go for it, but just too full, and also too full for the cheesecake. But maybe some tiramisu, because a little bit of coffee will awaken the senses. Carefully, there we go. Right down here. Ah, that was bound to happen with a wedge of a cake, but hopefully something in a rectangle will hold up better. This is a mocha cake, and it does hold up. And next to me is the chocolate fountain. But respectfully, I will skip that because I'm not sure where it's been or what's been in it. Let's see. So we've got some baked goods here. And this, I have no idea what it is, but it does say it is a snowflake crisp. And I guess one way to find out what it is to give it a try. Right here. And next to it, some elephant ears in the name of pommes. And apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Chocolate chip cookies, looks like Chips Ahoy. And this is butter cookies. Right over here. And you know what goes well with butter cookies and pommes? Ice cream. It's right over here under the blue light, and I'm really glad that they are pre-packaged. The typical flavors, a lot of chocolate, some vanilla, and some strawberry. But maybe I will go for the classic. Okay. On the plate. Oh, and I almost forgot the apple pie in the hot food section. And the buffet is still going on strong. Ah, and there it is. Okay, hot apple pie. Next to the ice cream. Okay, and dessert round complete. We are nearing the home stretch with a beautiful plate of dessert. And the appetite is coming back with the beautiful plate of dessert. We gotta first uncover the ice cream to make it official. And I just gotta try this panna cotta. Oh, look at the wobble. Let's give that a try. As soon as you put it in your mouth, it just melts and disintegrates. Custardy softness and a real big burst of vanilla. And as you can see, that wobble is pretty intense, and it is just barely holding together. Definitely go for the panna cotta when you're here. Might even want to start off with that first. And I'm curious about the snowflake dessert. And I believe they say this comes with peanuts, so be forewarned. I don't know what it is, but it is good. Intense peanut flavor throughout, a bit of chew, and I think it's either a meringue or a nougat with peanut butter or peanut flavoring and peanut dust all over. Very delicious and not too sweet. I'm gonna try the dual coffee type desserts, the mocha square and the tiramisu cake. Let's do the mocha first. Oh, and it's just like a sponge. They don't have a lot of desserts here, but what they do have is very good, because look at that ratio, more mousse than there is cake. Very delicious and just the right touch. Now for the tiramisu. And we'll flip that around. Give it a cut. Barely holds. A very good tiramisu cake. And the classic dessert, which is apple pie and ice cream. And let's see. Okay, so the ice cream is very nice, not too hard. And being a little pretentious, just like Mars bar are supposed to be eaten this way, we'll do the same. Apple pie and ice cream with a knife and fork. It's very good and very cold, but the ice cream is perfectly tempered with that hot apple pie. A perfect combination. One balances out the other, and oh dear, this is going to be a big bite. Hot and cold, very delicious. So the buffet is getting busier and busier, and this is the Mandarin Buffet here in Washington, Redmond, near Seattle, or I guess in the Seattle, greater Seattle area. Kind of like the American Chinese food, like the Mandarin Buffet of Canada, the one in the East Coast. Very enjoyable here, and Gabriel grilling up a storm and all the good folks here. So $31 on a weekend with crab and the sashimi and the great sushis. A pretty good deal. Definitely a lot of food. So thank you so much for joining on this little adventure. And until we see each other again, I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're eating well, and I hope you're traveling well. And just got to finish off the Diet Pepsi with the dessert. Very nice. So until we see each other again, bye-bye for now, and God bless.
And again, a big thank you to Groons for sponsoring this video, and for up to 45% off, visit the link in the video description below.